What's going on? What's going on? And the boys are back on Battle Cage. What's up, Stacks? What's going on,
What's
my brother?
going on, buddy?
You
What it
know,
do?
staying afloat one day at a time. We got a new
Yes, sir.
card to break down today. We got Font versus Vera on deck. And before we go forward, let's just quickly recap our bets for last week. Would you like to start?
Yeah, I mean it was an okay week. I'm sure the people following know my plays and what I was heavy on. Most of it cash, some of it didn't. I was very big on Jessica Andrade. Like I said, I knew she would win that fight. I wasn't sweating it. Didn't have to. Well, at first it was a little bit of a sweat the first couple seconds because Lemos was throwing some heat, but I knew Andrade would be ready for that. And it's crazy because like I had a feeling about this sub too because I didn't tell you or anyone, but like right before the fight, I was like thinking about it. I'm like, yo, everyone thinks she's gonna knock her out. For some reason, I just got this feeling like she's gonna sub her. And my dumb butt, dumbass, ended up taking her round two sub instead of round one because I was gonna do round one. I had it in the bet slip and everything. And then I'm like, nah, Lemos, if anything, is the first round fighter. Andrade will get it in the second. Bit me in the butt, but whatever. I had a money line, so that covered. Of course, Jordan Wright under heavily invested. Like I told all our viewers, that
Yeah,
was easy
yeah.
money if there was ever anything easier than that.
The
Um,
under machine.
Under 1.5 machine. Yes,
Absolutely,
yeah, Jordan
absolutely.
Wright. But what killed me was I had over 1.5 in Guida and Puelas, as well as over 1.5 in Jordan and Venata as parlay pieces in a lot of parlays. So that definitely busted a lot of my parlays. Was not
Yeah,
expecting those
yeah.
results. Didn't expect the Carpenter. I'm eating my words for once because, as you guys know, last week I was like, the Carpenter is going to do what he has to do. There's nothing he hasn't seen before. Well, apparently there is something he hasn't seen before, and that's a freaking leg lock
The
because
knee bar, the
knee bar,
king of
leg
knee
lock,
bar.
whatever the hell that was. God damn, that pissed me off.
Yeah.
And Jordan, I like I said on the show, I was leaning more towards the side. I said Venata would be a hard fight. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but I did not expect him to finish him and sub him like that quick. Wow, that was.
Yeah,
Listen, I can't
that
even be
was
mad. That was a beautiful performance on his end.
absolutely,
For
absolutely.
you, that was a good thing. I know you were heavy on Jordan, so it worked out for you on that end. But other than that, yeah, it was a so-so card. We knew getting into it, it wasn't going to be like the best card, the most action-packed, which it actually was pretty action-packed. A lot of good fights, but all
It
those
was
lower level
rather, it
cards
was
end up
very
being like
interesting. Yeah,
that.
at least I found it very entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, all these lower level cards that are dumpster fires, we end up like trashing them, but they end up actually being good cards because it's like lower level fights end up having more violence. So, but listen, we're getting back into it. We got another whatever card this week. It's okay, couple really good fights, but other than that, nothing special. But next week, yeah, we getting there. We
Fire.
getting there.
Finally, May 7th. I think May is where we turn around. It's gonna
Where
be
we get the real heat. We start getting some
absolutely.
real heat.
It's gonna completely turn around for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went for a clean sweep, bro. My broom
Yeah.
was out. Main event
You
scythe
killed
was
it.
in. I was locked in. I literally had
Main
everything.
card site, not main event. You always say main event by accident. Main
Well,
card site.
I had the main event too.
No, I know, but you the
Let's
main
say
card guy.
let's say main card Scythe was in the building, had my broom out. I went 4 for 4, perfect parlay. I had what's his name, Jordan. I had Puelas. I had Andrade, and I had, what am I
Macy
missing?
Barber.
And Macy Barber, of course. I also sprinkled, I told you, 1.75 units on inside the distance Macy, but it's okay. When you do the math, I came up from 1 unit to 8 units.
It was
So
nothing. It was
seven
a
units. Yeah, so I'm still like profits, just 6 units alone on that. And my big play, which is crazy, bro. I put 30 units on Puelas and the bookies didn't accept it. I put
yeah, yeah.
3,000 on Puelas, bro. They didn't accept it. They didn't take 20 units. They only gave me 12 because they knew I came to smack them. So I was
Yeah.
smacking them the
That's
whole time.
crazy though, because I
Yeah,
didn't think they would
I was
limit
very
you.
upset with BetMGM. I should have switched over to DraftKings. DraftKings I've been able to put like 30
Yeah,
units,
they
no
don't have
problem.
limits.
Yes, no, for me they have a limit of 20,000, which is good. Limit me to 20,000. But yeah,
Oh,
the Bet MGM limited me really really harshly. Which again, when you're in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking straight. But yeah, I was gonna smack him crazy. I was very high on what's his name, on Puelis. That was the lock of the night. I was so high. I was fading Guida from the beginning. I don't know why. It was just one of those spots where the Carpenter was just a fade, right? Like, and that's kind of where I went with. Again, I apologize against anyone that I was going against, but I was very firm on that. So basically, yeah, good night for me with MMA. However, I'll be honest. I got burned a little bit with basketball. Nets kind of let me down. My Brooklyn Nets, but it's
yeah, they
okay.
let
They
me
are
down too.
eliminated. I can move on. It's time to look at round two. With that being said, it's the MMA channel over here. Let's look forward. We're not looking back. Are we ready to start?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's
Alrighty,
do it.
let's go with the
Make some
first
money.
fight. Our first fight we have now. You're gonna have to help me with the name. Tatsuro, Taira.
Yeah, that's a hard name.
Yeah, it's a
Tyro Tatsuro.
Taira Tatsuro, a Japanese fighter, very, very fresh, very young guy, 22 years of age, coming from Japan. He's a moderate favorite at this point with a clean record. He's 5'7". I don't have the exact reach here. Topology doesn't list it. He's taking on Carlos Candelario.
Candelario.
Now he is a 8-1 fighter, 30 years of age, 5'8" with a 67 reach. The funny thing about this stacks is that for this particular fight, he's the only one. Candelario is the only one from the Contender Series who got signed from a loss.
A loss, yeah.
So Dana White felt a little bit, I guess,
He thought that
generous.
he won the fight,
And
basically.
a lot of people, I remember that fight.
Victor Altamirano, he
Right.
was
I
fighting.
remember that fight. Both guys, gave it their all essentially. But at the end of the day, I feel like I think he won the fight. So it was a good gesture from Dana White. So I'm not even mad at that. Would you like to start off? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to get into. These two guys are both making their UFC debuts, so it's not like we have a history with them where we could look back on their fights and say, oh, this is what they're good at, this is what they're not. I mean, Candelero, he's coming off a Contender Series loss, as you said, first guy to ever lose on the Contender Series and still get a contract. So that should tell you the fight was very close. It was. I watched it. It was back and forth. Both guys had their moments. To be honest, in my opinion, I wouldn't be mad either way if the judges went either way. It was that close of a fight. But ultimately, they did give it to Altamirano. I mean, Candelario, he's pretty good. Got a decent stand-up, decent ground game. Nothing special, but he's more of a stand-up guy, I would say. But he's all right. I mean, there's not too much to see to know yet. So I can't tell you for sure, like 100% confidence. But on the other end, Taira, whatever his name is, he's also making his UFC debut coming out of Ryzen, I believe he was fighting out of.
One
And
championship, I believe, too.
yeah, Ryzen, yeah, championship, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It depends. Like, this fight is, for me, a big pass just because we don't know anything about these guys too much. Like, we might know a little bit, but not too much. So, it's not enough information for me to make a move on this one. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got. No real strong takes on this one. Starting off the night with a big skipper, but listen, it is what it is. I don't want to sit here and talk out my ass, I'm going to talk when I have something that you guys want to hear, So it just is what it is. This fight, we'll see what happens. We'll get a little bit of a read on these two guys after this fight, and then moving forward, we'll know a lot more going into the next one. So.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. You know how I feel with these like chalky debutants, especially very young green prospects. I need to see them at least one fight for me to even put them in a parlay. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
anything, believe it or not, I actually see more value in the dog here, Carlos Candelario, because he's a dog. He's gonna be there the whole time. And when you compare, like, nothing against like the overseas, like the Philippines
Yeah, the
area,
level of
the
competition.
level of competition, it's day and night. You can have a 5-1 fighter here in the States, But the MMA talent here, the MMA pool, the guys that they're wrestling with, the guys that they're practicing jiu-jitsu is just day and night. They could have like a regular gym here can have a former champion. You know what I'm saying, from
Yeah,
Bellator,
no,
or a
sure.
former champion from UFC. It's so much different. So again, if anything, there's a value on this, but it's the first fight. You do not want to get burned, just like we had the situation with Dean Barry, which was a shit show, by the way. Uh,
Oh, by the way, good thing you mentioned that. Sorry, I don't want to go backwards. I actually took a flyer on the Mike Jackson. DraftKings had a boost. It was literally Mike Jackson to win and under 2.5 plus 1,400. I put it in for a couple
yeah.
dollars and they cashed it. It hit, even though it was a
Perfect. He
DQ.
won by DQ. Yo, you know what's so funny? Something in my stomach was like, take the dog.
Yeah.
Something was gonna happen.
Well, at that line, it's like you
Right.
gotta sprinkle it a
Right. No,
little at
no,
least.
that was well, that was very smart by you.
Yeah.
But if anything, like I said, I do see some value on Candelario, but that's a major skip for me. I will
Yeah.
not be putting a single parlay, a single prop or anything. I just want to start with a fight that I'm comfortable with. This is not something that I'm comfortable with. So a pass for me altogether. Like I said, if anything, there's some value on the dog because he's been there. Probably the talent pool. But then again, the other guy is also very, very talented. He's a highly,
Yeah.
thought of prospect. But again, skip from my side as well. Save your money. There's so many other positions here that we're gonna touch. So it's safe to say that we're kind of wrapping this up.
Yeah, for
All right,
sure.
so let's look on the next fight. Um, all right, we have Gina Mazany taking on Shanna Young. Gina Mazany is coming off a loss. She's 33 years old, 5'6", 68.5. This is a flyweight fight. So she made weight last time in her last outing at 126. Shanna Young is coming off 2 losses. She is 31 years old, 5'7", 65 reach, and she was 134 and a half. So it looks like she was a bantamweight in her last fight, but this is a flyweight bout. Uh, don't have a clear read on this one. Stack, would you like to start this one off?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get involved in this one. Two ladies that I don't trust. Mazany, if I had to pick a side, I'd probably pick her side just because I know a little bit more of what I'm getting, but not too much to like. Not a great fighter. I mean, the good thing about her is she does train on the Kraus, but lately that hasn't been such a great thing because a lot of his fighters have been losing lately. So,
Especially the lower,
yeah,
low tiers fighters, but
yeah,
overall they're
because he
doing good.
doesn't really. He doesn't really have any higher tier fighters if you
Yeah,
really think about it.
yeah,
All his
yeah,
fighters are technically lower tier. He doesn't have anyone even in the top 15, I would think, even.
yeah.
But regardless, anyways, Mazani's actually Tim Elliott's girlfriend. They both train together under Kraus. But yeah, I mean, if she could fight like her man's does, then I definitely back her. But she doesn't. I mean, she does give it everything she has. She has like, she kind of does fight like him a little bit, but it's hard to trust her. She's not that good in any real specific area. She's okay everywhere, but nothing special anywhere. And on the other end, Shanna Young, I don't really know much about her too much. All I know is that she lost her last fight to Stephanie Edgar. And yeah, Edgar just demolished her pretty much. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to trust either lady, honestly. It's a women's MMA fight, so not gonna get involved in this one. Rather just pass, get involved in better spots throughout the card. And not really much to say, to be honest. These first couple of fights, there's not really much that there needs to be said, to be honest. So yeah, that's pretty much
Hundred
all I got.
percent. 100%. Not touching this fight. No props. No nothing. No leans. If anything, I'm maybe slightly favoring Gina Mazany because again, I don't like when anyone dropping weight all of a sudden, especially when you're coming
Yeah.
off a loss. It's really hard to trust a fighter. At this point, like you see, Shayna Young, she just took a L to who did she took a L? She took a L to
So
Stephanie
Stephanie Edgar.
Eager. Right, she got
Edgar.
KO'd actually 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So not a good look. She lost to Macy Charson 2 years ago. So lack of activity. So there's just red flags here. If anything, like I said, I'll most likely be leading a little bit of Gina Mazany, like you mentioned. She trains with what's his name, with
Yes.
Elliot. And I think ever since they got together, she looked a little better. You know what I'm saying? I think she's more disciplined. So slight, I mean very slight. I mean literally hair thin like lean on Gina Mazzani, but I rather just call it a wrap and skip the first one, skip the second one, not start with any agony, and look for better spots. So for me, it will be definitely a skip or no action. All
Yeah.
right, let's safe to say we can move forward, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so our next fight. All right. In our next fight, we have Mike Breeden taking on Nathan Levy. Mike Breeden's coming off a loss. He's 33 years old. Weighted in at 158 and a half in his last weight. So in his last outing. So you missed the weight over there. This is a lightweight bout at 155. He's 5'10", 70-inch reach. He's taking on Natan Levy, who also coming off a loss in his debut in the UFC. He's a moderate favorite in his spot, 6-1 record. He's 30 years old. He made weight at 154, no problem. He's 5'9", 72-inch reach. Do you mind if I take a little bit of lead over here? All
Go
right,
ahead.
so I am feeling Natan Levy here. I think he's more of a well-rounded fighter, if you will, and I also like his, tenacity. I know he's coming off a loss in the last spot. Again,
To
this was
Rafa.
Rafa Garcia. At this point, we've established Rafa Garcia, so his stock is much higher than Natan Levy. He got his jitters out, if you will, whatever. He made his debut. I like that, if you ask me. And he's a grinder. You know what I mean? He's not a really flashy fighter, but he's a grinder, and he's gonna fight for your money. So if you're gonna put any action on Natan Levy, and as you can see, naturally I'm gravitating to Natan Levy. I think this is a good bounce back for him. Mike Breeden is a good technical boxer. I'll give him that. The man has hands. But Natan Levy loves to grab you and take you down and just grind you. He has no problem of dry humping you for 15 minutes. I mean, seriously, no problem of just laying on you, backpacking you, doing everything he needs to do to get a W. And you know what? If you're putting money on it and you want a unanimous decision, I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So, do I have big action on it? Probably not. But I do. So, basically, what I wanted to tell you actually, the way I'm going to be grading these fights are obviously a skipper. So, skip this fight, avoid it at all costs. Parlay piece, which means I'm not going to put a direct play on it, but I could consider this as a parlay piece. A good pick, and that's self-explanatory. That's a good pick means I can't argue with it, right? A good pick is a good pick, and high pick is obviously something that's a straight bet worthy. So that will be like kind of where I see this fight. I see it as a parlay piece. So if you want to add Natan Levy and call it a day and take a chance, is where I see it. I'm not high on Mike Breeden. I do see a path to victory. He can possibly get a KO. He can possibly outgrind on Natan Levy. He is coming from. Is he a glory fighter with? Yeah, I believe he's.
No, I don't think so. Who, Natan?
Yeah, he no, Mike
No, he's from
Breeden,
Israel,
Glory,
no?
no, Glory MMA Fitness. So he
For
will
real?
have, yeah. Mike Breeden is from Glory MMA.
Oh, Mike Breen. I thought you
Yes.
said Natan
No, no,
Levy.
no,
Oh,
no, Mike. So I do see a path to victory. You got James Crass in his corner, but Mike Breeden's such a low level at this point. I don't think very highly of him. So I'm leaning Natan Levy. It's a parlay piece. I think he's also a good pick. So I'll give him 2 levels here. So I think he's a good pick, and I think he's a parlay piece. As of right now, don't have any significant action on it, but I might be because I was waiting for the line to get a little bit normalized, and it's looking like now it's kind of getting balanced. So that's where I kind of see myself. What about you?
I mean, no strong inclinations, low level fight in my opinion as well. But like yeah, like you said, you broke it down pretty good. Breeden, I don't really see much stock in that guy. He got smoked by D-Rod in his first fight. It was a short notice fight, which is part of probably the reason why he missed weight because he did find out like very, very like a few days or a week before the fight, he found out that he was fighting. So you got to give him a little bit of slack for that. But just wasn't too impressed, even though it was a short notice fight. I mean, he did.
Who did he fought Alexandr Hernandez first fight. He got
Oh,
KO'd.
you're right. That's right. Why did I say Diva?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
why I
know.
wanted to. I
I'm
wanted to.
confusing him with the other
Yes, yes,
guy,
yes.
Mike
Hold your
Gonzalez.
horses. Hold your horses. I know where your head is at.
Yeah,
Let's.
yeah. But
He got KO'd
no,
by
yeah, he
Alexandr
fought Alex
Hernandez.
Hernandez, yeah, and he got straight put out. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, that's right. Yeah, he was like Alex Hernandez had him up against the cage, and Breeden was trying to like punch back, fight back, and then Hernandez caught him with a crazy shot and put it, and he literally like face first down to the canvas. But yeah, I'm not too impressed with Breeden. I'm not too impressed with Natan Levy either, to be honest with you. Didn't like too much from what I saw in his first fight against Rafa. I feel like he could have won that fight. Rafa was very gassed. They were both like huffing and puffing. It was basically about who wanted it more in that moment. And obviously, Rafa did want it more because he ended up winning that fight. He ended up getting numerous takedowns repeatedly. And that's just a bad look for me because Levy is supposed to be known as a ground game guy. So when you're supposed to be known as a good ground game guy and you're constantly being taken down, that's just a bad look in my eyes. You know, it's a bad red flag in my eyes. And yeah, and then on the other end, like I said, Breeden's hard to trust. He's really low level in my opinion. We don't truly know. I don't think he really is UFC caliber. I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll prove us wrong. You never know. But from what I see so far, I don't think the guy's UFC caliber. And it showed in his first fight, even though it was short notice. But I think it'll show again Saturday. Natan definitely should win this fight, in my opinion, which is why he's a favorite. But like it's MMA, so you truly never know, and that's why I'd probably just stay away. Again, listen, I know you guys are probably like, damn, that's 3 fights in a row. You guys skip and staying away. But listen, do you want me to just feed you garbage, or do you want me to feed you the good stuff, the fire, the stuff that's actually going to put money in your pockets? That's the goal here. That's what we're trying to do. So if it just doesn't make sense, then I'd rather not give anything out and not even cover it too extensively, because I'd rather put my time and effort into something that I know will pay off for you guys and myself, most importantly, at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it. We can move on.
Yeah, 100% facts. Like I said, I'll just mention it. For me, like I said, it's not that I'm skipping this fight. I actually am recommending a parlay piece for those anyone that wants to take action, but don't put a lot of chalk on it. You know what I'm saying? Use it as a parlay builder, and
Yeah.
you know, if just because you want to have some action on the prelims, that's if you want to get in on it early. Some people are like that. Sometimes I feel the urge of
Yeah.
getting action, but I definitely recommend staying away from the first fight. I definitely recommend staying away from Gina Mazany fight. You know, all the props, we can probably discuss it on your show tomorrow. But in terms of like real action, there's really no need. You got 12 fights, guys. You know, there's so many spots that you can find. So that's why we're skipping certain spots. So don't think, oh, these are skip machines. Well, you know what? It's better to skip than to get burned. And I think that's how we like to approach it. But that kind
Yeah,
of
and it's
wraps.
not like we just straight skip it. We at least like break it down for you guys, so you guys at least have some knowledge for the fight. And if you do want to get involved, you can get an understanding of what both guys bring and the type of stylistic matchup it will be, and like at least get our edges or like what we see in the
Right, and
fight.
make a responsible decision at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So that
exactly.
kind of wraps up the fight. I think we touched all important bases. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, let's go to the next.
You paused it, right?
One second. Okay, now we have an interesting matchup, guys. We have a debuting Yohan Lainesse, white line from Canada. He comes in with a perfect record from Quebec, Canada. He's 29 years old, so approaching the prime of his life. So perfect time to debut. He comes in a natural welterweight, so he's 171 in his last weight. He's 6'1", 76 reach. He faces Gabe the Gifted Green with a 10-3 record. He's coming off a win himself, a nice bounce back against Philip Rowe. He's 28 years old. He comes in actually under 171. He's not a natural welterweight. That's something important to remember here. He's 5'10", and he has a 70-inch reach. Stacks, I'm going to let you kick this one off.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get into it. Finally, we got some heat. We got a good fight we can break down where we will be invested in. Finally. Yeah, man. I mean, I've been seeing when I studied this fight coming into the week before the week, I was like right from the jump, like, yeah, I like the White Lion because this dude is a tank. His power is no joke. When he fought on the Contender Series, he fought Burlinson, and I actually had a ticket on Burlinson because Burlinson had a lot of hype behind him coming into that fight. He was actually a heavy favorite in that fight.
Yep,
Burlinson was. He
almost
was,
5-1 at the start of the
yeah.
fight.
Yeah, and I actually threw him in a couple parlays, which killed me because he obviously lost and got
Yeah.
smoked. But yeah, Burlington was supposed to win that fight in everyone's eyes. Everyone was hyping the kid up. He was the next nice thing on the Contender Series, the next up and coming guy.
Everyone.
Everyone,
Mike Bisping, all the cappers, you name it, and their
everyone.
mother.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I fell
So
into
I'm
the
like,
hype too, believe me. I
me
had a
too.
ticket at
Yeah.
Burlington.
So I made that mistake once fading the white line, and I will not happen again. And I promise you that. So yeah, listen, Gabe Green, he's game. He's tough. He's durable. He's good. He's not great. He's good everywhere. He's a meat and potatoes type of fighter, which for you guys listening, if you don't know what that means he's pretty good in every area, but he's not great in any specific area.
Mm-hmm.
So he's good standing, he's good on the ground, he's good submission, he's good this, he's good that, but he's not great at any one of those things. So usually those guys do okay in the UFC, but they don't sweep anyone off their feet. They don't, oh my God, this guy's great. No, he just gets by, gets a few wins, loses here, wins there. He's one of those type of guys. But he will come in, he will fight, he will give you everything he got. Now, the one thing that was worrying me a little bit about back in the white line, the one little thing was about the fact we were talking about this before yesterday, actually, how when Gabe Green fought D-Rod, which was his first UFC fight, it was like 2 years ago, I think, something like that. It was a while ago, but
Let me check for you. His debut was almost 2 years ago. 1 year and
yeah,
10 months against Daniel Rodriguez.
yeah. So that's a tough fight for your debut to fight a guy like D-Rod. Even though at that time it was 2 years ago, so D-Rod wasn't the caliber he is now. He's shown a lot of growth in his time in the UFC. No one expected him to reach the pinnacle he's at now. He's top 15 now. Well, he was, unless they removed him, but
Mm-hmm.
because he's been injured. But back to Gabe Green. Yeah, he's very tough. He's very game. He put up a good fight in that fight against D-Rod, even though he lost 30-27 unanimous decision. It was a good showing for your first fight against such a tough opponent like D-Rod. Then he bounced back, beat a really game good fighter in Philip Rowe, who I'm pretty high on. You know, I think he has a lot of potential. He's good. You know, he could potentially one day crack the top 15 down the road if he puts all the tools together and really hones in on it. But yeah, Gabe Green's good. Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from the guy. It's just more of me favoring the White Lion than me not favoring Gabe Green, basically. Like, I really like what I see from this guy. I love his power. The one thing you could say about him that he needs to maybe improve on is his gas tank, because when he doesn't get his opponent out of there in the first round, he usually tires down and he starts huffing and puffing, which is a red flag. You don't want that in a fighter when you're putting money on them, because just in case if they don't get that finish, it's not going to look too good after that most of the time, because they're going to be too tired to really do anything and score points if the fight is going to go to a decision. And that allows his opponent to take over round 2, round 3 and steal the fight away. So that is one thing that does scare me. But I'm such a believer in the power. I'm such a believer in the tools. He's good everywhere. It's not like he's just good at standing and banging. He's good on the ground too. He got takedowns. He got ground game. So it's not like the man is a one-trick pony. He's good everywhere. Where he's really good, the hands. The dude has power. I mean, I could put someone out, but this dude, he could really put someone out. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man. The dude got power. And I know what a lot of people are going to say. Listen, I see a lot of cappers out there. I see a lot of the MMA community out there heavy backing Gabe Green, and that's why this line has actually shifted. We were talking about it the other day. White Lion was plus 100 or minus 105.
Yeah.
He's plus 130 now.
There was a
So
moment it was even money, minus 110 on both sides.
So it was straight pick 'em, and now he's went all the way up to plus 130. So like you were saying, that was scaring you. That doesn't scare me personally. That just tells me that people are not reading this fight properly in my eyes, and that people are just fading the debutant, and that's not the right decision in my eyes. Yeah, that might work for people sometimes in the Contender Series fade, where it's a guy's first fight in a UFC and he's fighting another guy who's already fought in the UFC, and he might not be the best guy in the UFC, but he has that experience in the UFC. A lot of guys will fade the guy who's making his first UFC fight if that guy is the favorite. Just off principle, a lot of people do that. But I don't think that's so smart, especially not in this situation. Because like I said, the White Lion, he's coming in and he's coming hard. That dude, one shot can put you out. One shot. The way he put out Burlinson, man, oh, man, that was a thing of beauty, man. Oh, you do not want to get hit by one of those punches, bro. He will break your jaw, bro.
And it was his left hand out of a counter, so it wasn't even a power shot. It was a ducking counter. Swing, and he just, and you heard it.
It was literally just a reaction.
That's
like,
it.
It wasn't even like set up. So just imagine when he sets it up. Phew, I don't even want to imagine that.
Yeah.
Listen, if White Lion does what he has to do, he will win that 50 G's this week. He will be one of the guys who will get that 50 G bonus, because that's how I see my guy winning this fight, with a nice first round electrifying knockout that has the fans just jaws drop. That's what I see happening. Listen, like I said, I want to clarify, I'm not sleeping on Gabe. The guy is game. The guy is good. He's going to come to fight. He's durable. He's not usually easy to get out of there. But when you're dealing with the type of power that the White Lion has, that's just a whole different kind of power, man. And I don't care how durable you are. You're not going to be able to handle those shots consistently. So that's what I feel. Listen, like I said, anything can happen. It's MMA, but I'm on the White Lion train, as you know, so I'm going to be heavily invested, especially at that price that it went up to now, plus 130. That's a beautiful price in my eyes. I think he should be the favorite. You know what I mean? Even though it's his first
Interesting
time in
fact.
UFC,
Don't mean to cut you off. Interesting fact.
Yeah, but that's all I got.
75% on Topology, so the public perception is on the White Line. So go figure. So go make your own decisions for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like usually the line is kind of indicative of like the public perception here, but it's completely opposite. So that's why I was a little bit confused here.
Because those people on Topology aren't actually betting their money; they're just voting,
making right. They're just voting with their hearts. You're right.
One more thing. Sorry to cut you off.
No. It's still your dance.
Yeah, no, this is the last thing. I forgot to mention this. One thing that also makes me happy and know that I'm on the right side is one thing I look for. People might think it's stupid and it doesn't mean anything, but to me it does. I look for when it's when there's a fight coming up and I see that the UFC is heavily promoting one of the sides. That's a green flag in my eyes, not a red flag, a green flag. Something good.
I see him all over, bro.
Yeah, because when Slava Claus made his, as an example, when he made his first fight in the UFC, before the fight, they had what you sent me yesterday, the link for YouTube, where they do that the Contender Series where they show the fight and how they came to be like a UFC fighter and their story, like promoting the guy. They did that for Slava, and what happened? He knocked out Dakota Bush first round. Easy. Yeah, and I noticed that in fights like that where it's like an up and comer and the UFC is heavily promoting that person. That means they're setting that person up for success, and that means they're giving them that fight like a give me fight. It's not always a give me because it's the UFC. And
yeah.
But
Gabe Breeden is not a give me fight.
That position.
Yeah,
no, he's not a give me fight. But the UFC is making sure that they're giving you an opponent
winnable
that they
position.
know you can handle. They know you on a good day will put away. Will have a electrifying performance. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Though.
No, 100%. This is one of the few fights that we're actually on the same boat here. So I'm happy. I'm happy to say that. Let me start off. Okay, I actually have notes here because I don't want to waste anybody's time. Yohan Lainesse is my high pick. So I just told you guys, high pick means this is one of my big plays. So definitely confident with that pick. Couple of things. Let me give you some technical breakdowns on this one. I took notes and then basically summarize everything. First off, I think Yohan is a phenomenal striker. He's vicious. He has incredible ground and pound, that old school grid ground and pound. So when he takes you down, he's not looking to really hug you too much, but he's looking to hit you. He has strong intentions. His natural like killer instinct, it's there. And I love killers. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely love it. He has dynamite in his hands. He can crack. When they hit you, you get stunned. You get winded. You start like you can see his opponents just start like
They forget
where they are. They start crowding right away. They start crouching. They move back. They really don't want anything to do with it. Now, is he a 100% precise striker? No, but he bangs, which means he's not gonna stop. He's not one of those technical boxers that stands and jabs with you. He's gonna look, jab, snap. And when he snaps that left, he connects. So his volume.
He's not scared to take a hit either.
Not at all. I was gonna say that too. He's definitely hittable, but his jaw completely checked out. Never been knocked out.
He's been
chin checked. He's valid. The only thing is he kind of he has this like Nate Diaz syndrome going in his eye that if you touch him just a little bit, he starts bleeding. But that's okay. Yeah. It's just scarring.
He's a warrior.
He's a warrior, and that's because he's always been in a fight in like less than a year. So he's been active. Now he has some time to be away from fighting, and I feel like the scarring should hold up. It healed properly. So that's something to know.
And his game is developing.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get into that. I have a lot of notes here. He's no slouch on taking people down either. So if we're talking about he's a banger. Listen, he has an explosive two-leg takedown. He will stand and bang, and out of nowhere, he'll just dive, and he takes you down. I mean, I haven't seen a single stuff from this man, and I watched I think out of 8 fights, I watched like 6 that are available. None of them have been telegraphed from a diving position. So if he dives for the two-leg, he's taking you down. Why is this important? Well, Gabe Green used to fight at 155, and man, was he taken down by some cans. So if he was taken down by cans, if he was taken down by Philip Rowe, you think he's not going to be taken down by a full-round MMA fighter, but who's much bigger than him? I don't think so. What else? And, and just in case Gabe Green wants to go in a clinch game, guess what? My man lives in the cage. He lives in the clinch, and he will give you that vicious elbow just to make sure he's checking you right. Now, those were some big words here. What about Gabe Green? Well, Gabe Green is no slouch by any stretch of imagination. This man has that zombie syndrome. What does that mean? He will get cracked, but he will keep going. He's just nonstop. That fight against Daniel Rodriguez, wow, did Daniel Rodriguez land some powerful punches, some punches that would have put anyone away. I mean, Daniel Rodriguez knocked out, what's his name? Preston Parsons, right? Parsons just fought. He knocked him out clean, and he landed twice as much strikings on Gabe Green. So again, even though Gabe Green's been knocked out 2 times, he was still in the fight until the very end. So I have nothing but respect for Gabe Green. He also has this bully mentality. He loves to pressure you. He's going to be the one who's leading the dance, but it's not good. He's very hittable. And if White Line cracks him, and again, I'm not comparing power here, Line versus D-Rod, but Line cracks again. And if he cracks you, guess what what is that going to do? If he puts you on a back pedestal, he's going to go for a double takedown if he needs to. I've seen it happen. His fight against... his second fight in his professional, he was debuting against this big black monster. I mean, muscle bound as you can get. You know what he did? He couldn't knock him out, but he put him on the back pedestal, dived in, took him down. Now, you're going to tell me that Gabe Green is stronger than this guy? I don't think so. Watch that video. It's his second fight in his professional fighting. In any case, back to Gabe Green. Gabe Green... he's a leech when he takes you down. I will be honest. But for some reason, he doesn't have that Donkey Kong killer
Killer.
instinct. Like whereas if you're taken out by white line, he's gonna maul you. He's gonna pounce on you. Gabe Green is more of a control technical guy. Now he is a purple belt
He's more
BJJ.
position over like
Correct.
submission.
He is a more reserve guy, so he's going to be maybe looking for Kimura or a choke. He likes the rear naked choke. But again, I have enough faith in White Line that he's not going to put him in that predicament. At least I hope so. Finally, there's a couple of things, and I'm going to wrap up. One, Gabe Green used to fight 155. He's not a natural 170. When what's his name? When White Line rehydrates, post a weigh-in on the day of the fight, he's 192. That's incredible, guys. Whereas the other guy, he comes in at 169 and a half. So he's rehydrating, but he's probably he's touching 183, 184. There's a massive. I'm speculating here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He will be at a weight disadvantage. Now, he's still a big guy at 170. His back, Gabe Green's back, big. And he was even able to bully D-Rod, and he was bullying Philip Rowe. But it's not like he didn't get reversed. So I have enough faith in the power of White Line to reverse the clinch. And I told you, loves the clinch game. He's not afraid of the clinch game. One more thing, and that's probably the last thing. Gabe Green had this heart problem. He got punched in the heart. I don't know if you know. He got punched in the heart, and he suffered like a mini heart attack. The man was out. Yeah, he was out for a couple of months. No training. He even spent like 2 or 3 nights in the hospital because when you get punched in the heart, the muscle of the heart, if it gets damaged, there's a level that they monitor. And level. No, like the muscle breakdown. Like for example, when someone has a heart attack, they monitor the level, if the level of the heart attack, and basically
he got that from getting punched in the heart, bro?
Straight punch in the heart, bro. Yeah, he's actually on interview. I did my homework on this fight. Okay, I was fully invested in here. So he spent couple of days in a hospital. So major red flags. He also had COVID several times. So
this was recently?
This is within the last year, man. Like seriously. Yeah, so I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not taking anything against him, and I don't think White Line should underestimate his opponent. Maybe he's playing possum. Anything can happen, mind games. But it's a fact. He was in a hospital. He got punched in the heart. He suffered like a mini heart attack. Red flags. You know what I'm saying? So if this fight does get extended in the second round, which it could, because Gabe Green is durable. And from everything that I said, he's very durable, and he could potentially go into this second round. How is he going to stand then? How his heart must be beating like crazy. Again, he got cleared by the commission, so okay. But yeah, I don't know. My passion, my full side is going to be on Yohan Lainesse. He has that something that I can't put on. That I'm not going to compare him to Hamza. I'm not comparing him to Hamza, but he got that. He got that firm belief. He's not working anymore.
Sharp.
Correct. He's not working anymore. Ever since he got signed by the Contender, from Dana White, he has been full-time MMA, no breaks. Morning training, evening rest, night training, day in and day out. He's training. He got really good coaches. He got Cote he's training with. Patrick Cote, who was in the UFC. He got a team, guys. He's coming from that GSP-esque, I'm not comparing him, but from that GSP-esque circle, okay? So he's really up and coming, Montreal type of fighter from Quebec. He got that GSP-esque thing going. He's very humble. I love listening to him. He's so down to earth. I think Dana White was so excited to sign him. You could see the smirk on his face when he said, "This guy's a savage. He's a killer. This is what the UFC needs. Come here. You were 5-1 dog, and you murked that guy." So love Yohan. Everything I said. One of my big picks, and if not, I'm still going with it because he definitely got the goods. I've talked a lot, but I was just really high in that fight.
No, yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure. And this is why we skip a lot of other fights, so we could
exactly. So
take a
that
little
way
bit
I can.
longer on the ones we like.
Exactly. That's why I want to assume my position here. Really like Yohan. That's a good side. Again, I have upgraded to a high pick fight, so you know what time it is. Your boy's gonna be dropping some units. Love it. That's why I'm not have. That's why I skipped the first 4 fights, like the first
Three
three
fights.
fights, 3 fights, because Yohan is definitely my favorite fight on the prelims card. That's my honestly, that's one of my biggest main events. That's my main event. That's gonna be mine
Yeah.
because that's an interesting welterweight to watch. A good prospect. Okay, really good prospect. That's it for me, man. Anything you want to add?
No, we covered pretty much everything. We covered a lot on this fight. Yeah, I mean, white line all day. Like we said, it's not a fade against Gabe Green. It's just more
Not
of
at
a
all.
push towards white
Not at all.
line.
Like I
Dude
said,
has
yeah. Like
the
I said,
dude has it.
it's either a finish for Johan or it's gonna be a really hard grind, unanimous decision because Gabe
Well,
Green.
possibly. The only thing I say is that I see it Johan round one or round two KO
Yeah.
most likely round one. But he could sub him too. Don't be surprised about a sub, like I always say.
Mm-hmm.
But because Gabe Green is durable and he might notice that wow, this guy really is hard to knock out. And when that happens, a lot of guys tend to look for the sub because they know like, oh, the knockout is going to be a lot harder
Yeah.
to get because
Yeah.
the guy's durable. So they'll do the club and sub approach. But yeah, I mean, we covered it all. White Lion, that's what we're on. We're going to be invested heavily on him. We like what we see. We like the potential. We like the growth. We like what we saw from him. And we
Definitely.
think he's only going to get sharper and better moving forward. And he should make a really nice statement this Saturday, show people who the White Lion is so people know his name. And then going forward, we probably, let me just say it like this, one last thing. After Saturday, don't expect to ever see the White Lion with a plus 130 next
Nope.
to his name again.
Nope.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
So take advantage now because if you don't, you won't get this opportunity.
And that's why I really don't want to miss this opportunity because he goes out there and he cracks Gabe Green. He's going to be a minus 200, like off the bat.
Minimum.
Opening line, he's going to be minus 200. Opening line.
Yeah.
So,
and because, of course, also because if he makes a statement win, the UFC is going to set him up his next fight as well. They're going to try to move him to the rankings in the right way and give him the right fights so his game shines, you know? So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, safe to say we're done. Great fight, big play. So let's move on to the next one. All right, guys. We have a fight that was supposed to happen last week. We have Alexandr Romanov taking on Chase Sherman. We already talked this fight. He's a huge favorite. He's the Moldovan King Kong. The guy he's good. He should win. Chase Sherman was cut by the UFC. Now they called him to fight this guy. I really want to spend more than 30 seconds in this fight. Romanov is going to dominate Chase Sherman. I don't think Chase Sherman is good. Chase Sherman got beat by Jay Collier, for crying out loud. Yeah, round one, Romanov, I'm done.
I mean, yeah, same thing for me. Like you said, we covered this fight last week. They were supposed to fight last Saturday, and I actually threw Romanov in a few parlays, not money line because it just didn't make sense at that number, minus 1,500. But I threw him round one in a few parlays. I threw him by KO or sub in a few parlays. But yeah, I mean, it obviously got voided. You know, Sherman knew what was going to happen. So he's like, my neck hurts. I can't
Was it his neck? Or I think he had a panic attack.
I don't know. Whatever it was. Something, I don't know. I can't. You know, one of those situations.
Right.
I mean, listen, there's not really much to break down. Romanov by smash. And that's pretty much it. First round, second round.
Smash, King Kong slam. That's it.
If you want to throw him into your parlays by finish or the one thing, though, I would say just in case in these situations when you get such a not a great number like that, hedge yourself just in case. Like basically what I mean by that is if you throw Romanov by finish in all your parlays or a lot of them, just because it is pretty much kind of a lock, even though we don't like to call anything a lock because nothing truly is a lock in MMA. But this is one of the more safer plays. But if you do heavily invest on him, let's say by finish in that example, what you should do, what I would do is at least in one parlay, take Romanov by decision. Just in case, because you're going to get a fat number And just for whatever reason, he doesn't show up like usual. He doesn't get that finish, or Sherman looks better than usual, or whatever. Just in case, hedge yourself with that. That's all I got to say.
Excellent point. Absolutely. You never know. Maybe Sherman is fighting for his dear life here, and he's going to push it all the way. He's going to be a zombie and not get knocked out. You're right. Absolutely. Good point.
Oh, and one last thing.
Yep.
And also, I just wanted to mention, I want to give Romanov some credit because the way he looked at weigh-in, we haven't seen that from him. Usually he's tipping the scales at like the limit,
My boy was
265 or
running.
anywhere
He did
around
some
there.
running. He lost weight.
He came in at 241. That's like, that was impressive. So that shows me
That's why
like the dude
Sherman
is
had a
not
panic
playing.
attack.
That's maturity. That's showing that he probably is trying to improve his cardio since his cardio isn't the best.
Yep.
So that's a scary sight. So beware.
Yep. Good point. Everything good point. So, Alexandr Romanov by homicide, and that's pretty much
Hell
it.
yeah.
That's it. Moving on. Okay, next fight. Daniel De Silva taking on Francisco Figueiredo. We have a flyweight bout here at 125. Both men coming off a loss. Daniel De Silva is 25 years of age, on the verge of being 26. He's 5'6" with a 70 reach. Francis Figueiredo, he is 32 years old, 5'6" with a 69 reach. And I believe you kind of have a good read on this one, so I'll let you
Yeah.
take the first dance here.
Yeah, I mean, when I seen this fight from the jump, I was saying to myself, like, yeah, I like the Silva here. It's a combination of things. First, let me break down the Silva. I really did like what I saw from it, like what I seen from him in his first fight. He fought Jeff Molina, who I'm really high on. That's like, if I were to say who's the best fighter that Kraus trains that has the highest ceiling, I think
El
it's Jeff
Jefe.
Molina. That kid is good. Like, he has a heart, he has hands, he's a warrior. Like, he fights. Like, I love the way he fights. Like, he's an action-packed fighter. And not for nothing, the Silva looked really good against him in the first round. Like, he looked really good. Like, Molina was having a tricky time with him. It took him a while to get adjusted and really get in his rhythm. And once the second round hit, that's when the Silva started gassing, and Molina took over and ended up finishing him. But you got to understand, that was the Silva's first fight in the UFC. It was a short notice fight. He just found out about it like right before the fight. So it's not like he had time to prepare. It's not like he knew who his opponent was going in months before. He didn't have a full training camp. He had none of that. So the showing that he gave, I was impressed with. Listen, he lost by finish, but you can't always take that away as, oh, this guy's lost and he sucks. No, sometimes you could get finished or you could lose, and you could still say like, oh, but he showed me a lot of good things, and I really could see a lot of improvements going forward. And with a young guy like De Silva, you're definitely going to see those things because he is so young. So he is going to make leaps every single fight that you're going to be like, oh, wow, I don't remember him being good in these areas. Now he looks really good doing this and this and that. So I do like what I see from De Silva. The kid is a good fighter. He's dangerous. He can sub you. He can knock you out. He's dangerous everywhere. Now, on the other hand, I really don't like what I see from Figueiredo. Like, his brother obviously got all the goods in the family because none of those goods transferred to the, well, I don't know, because he's the older brother, so it's weird. But usually the older brother would have more juice, but in this case, the older brother don't got no juice at all because the dude is just not that good. I think he's only in the UFC because of his last name, because of his brother. I mean, I hate to say things like that, but let's be honest. Based on the performances, that's what the picture is telling us. His only win in the UFC was against a guy that was not UFC caliber, Jerome Rivera, who never even got a win in the UFC, I don't think, was cut from the UFC. His last fight, he fought Malcolm Gordon, who is, I mean, Malcolm Gordon got a win his last fight and looked all right, but like, he's not the best guy. Like, he's nothing special. He's has no stand-up, Malcolm Gordon. You know what he wants to do. You know he's trying to get to the fight to the ground. You know if the fight is on the feet, he has no chance. And he still was able to take Figueiredo down, wet blanket him, hold him down, do what he wanted to, and win that fight. And if you're losing decisions to Malcolm Gordon, I could only imagine what my boy Daniel De Silva is going to do to you, because that dude comes out ready to go. ready, firing. He is a fast starter. And like he is gonna be putting it on Figueiredo. I don't even want to call him Figgy. He doesn't even deserve to be called Figgy, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm really heavy on the Silva here. I think he's gonna finish him in the first round. It's gonna be a quick night, and he should get a bonus like my boy White Line. I really see a dominant performance from him. I see him making a name for himself and just dominating this fight and either knocking him out or sub. Most I could see, what I see the most is a sub round one because the Silva's going to come out ready to go, and Figueiredo just I don't think we'll be able to handle the heat from him, and I think he'll get him out of there. That's what I like. I like it a lot. I don't love it, but I like it a lot, and I'm gonna be. I already threw it in a few parlays money line. I'm probably going to get involved with by finish the Silva also, get it at a better number. But yeah, I love the Silva here. I think it's a really good spot for him. I think the UFC is setting him up with a beautiful prime matchup for him to bounce back, get on his feet, and get some momentum moving forward. That's what I love here. But what do you think?
I'm gonna just tell the living shit of everything you said, and I already wrote down, as you can see. I have my notes already
Yeah.
ready from topology, and I don't know if you can see it right here. I wrote good pick, and I circled his name because you told me to circle his name, and that's it. And Francisco Figueiredo, it's the, it's the it's the other half of the Figueiredo, but he's not as good as all. I mean, he lost to Malcolm Gordon, and Malcolm Gordon is garbage, guys. I don't care what anybody says. Malcolm Gordon is not good. Period. I don't care what anybody says. He's not good. He's boring. He just wants to take you down and lay on you. He got cracked out. He's not good. For him to lose to Malcolm Gordon, come on, man. I don't even know. Daniel De Silva, younger guy here, hungrier guy here, better record in my opinion, has more to lose in this fight than the other guy because at the end of the day, Francisco Figueiredo is still going to eat because his brother's eating. He's the flyweight champion. So that's pretty much it. Daniel De Silva, good pick. I already wrote it down, which means you can play him, you can parlay him, you could do whatever you want with him.
And it's a good line we're
And it's a
getting.
decent
Like,
line, minus 130 if I'm not mistaken.
that's
So
good.
take that shit, like if you want
I'll
to.
take it all the way up to minus 200, to be honest with you. I'd be comfortable laying up to minus 180,
Then that's
190.
crazy. I'm gonna put a star in that. If you tell me these facts, I'm putting a little star in number 6.
No, for sure,
All
bro.
right.
I really think Silva's going to make a big
Personally,
step.
personally for me, I cannot add anything. I think for a last minute, he definitely gave Jeff Molina some problems. I really like what I saw. And again, Francisco Figueiredo is just not good. I don't care what anybody says. He's really not good. And he might get knocked out here. I'm just saying he might get just flattened out. But I don't
I
want
don't.
to
I just see
speculate.
more of a submission for some
Yeah, it
reason,
could be a
but
submission
it
too.
could be a knockout.
Right. Could be that as well. But if I'm De Silva, I don't want to play the ground game with this guy, I'm just going to knock him out. But again, I'm not De Silva and I'm not a professional fighter. I'm just a handicapper here. But you kind of summarized everything. You hit everything right on the point. I agree with you. Ever since you told me about this fight, that's it. I already circled it. I wrote good pick, and that's all I got to say on this one. All
Yeah,
right.
no, for sure.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, so now, according to topology, we are on the first main fight of the night. Again, this could change because, as we know, COVID's still around. Anything is possible. But we have GM3. We have Gerald Meerschaert taking on Krzysztof Jotko. There's a split in the community here. A lot of love for both sides, believe it or not. 34 years old, Gerald Meerschaert is coming off 3 wins after getting flatlined by Hamzat in like 16 seconds from the very first punch. But a good bounce back, 3 wins straight. All subs,
And
but
he beat Muradov, a nice up and comer. That was a really good win for him.
please don't
2
remind
fights
me
ago.
about that fight because I had a big ticket on Mordov. It was
Yeah, he was like
Mordov.
Meerschaert was like plus 500 or something.
Dude, you don't want to know. I had Murdoff. I had Dustin Poirier because it was that fight against Connor, that first fight. I mean, the second fight in the rematch. I had Mordov. I had that. And I had like one of the other fighters like earlier. They all hit right up until Muradov. I was happy because he was cracking Meerschaert, and Meerschaert out of nowhere does what Meerschaert does, and he submits him. Anyway, forget Muradov. And
And he was
also,
cracking him
and you know
too,
why
though.
I'm mad at Muradov, bro? By the way, FYI, that sucker is from my country, so he let me
Oh,
and my country down. Shame on
yeah.
him for being stupid. Anyway, let's move forward. 34 years old, 6'1", 77.5 reach. He's taking on Krzysztof Jotko, who's also on a good bounce back. He's coming off a win. He won a split win against Misha Serkinov. Hard fight, but again, we'll get this. We'll get into it in a second. He's 32 years old, 6'1", 77. So physically, they're pretty much identical. But when it comes to submission game in the 185, GM3 is the king. Out of 34 fights, I think he has 20. Out of 34 wins, I'm sorry. Out of 34 wins, out of 48 fights, he has 26 submissions. So let me just say this. This is not a fluke, man. When he sees that submission, he's going to pounce on it and he's going to get it. So I don't care who you are, even if you're a minus 600 favorite like Muradov, who can crack, by the way. But you give him the arm, you give him you give him your neck, he's gonna take it. He's gonna take the arm, he's gonna take the triangle, he's gonna take the rear naked choke, he'll take the power guillotine if you give it to him. This man is literally the 185. I'm not gonna compare it, but he's like Charles Oliveira in the submission game when it comes to 185.
Well, if the only guy I could say that I might put above him in the middleweight division is Andre Muniz.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect Muniz. You're right. But again, Muniz still got miles to go.
Yeah, yeah.
GM3, 48 fights, right? If I
But
said
when you sub Jacare Souza, that gives you a lot of points.
that's true.
Souza never got subbed in his
That's
career.
true. So again, like I said, really high on GM3. Well, I'm sorry. Let me restate that. I have GM3 as a good pick here, and you getting plus money. And for the record, I think Krzysztof Jotko is boring as shit, and he doesn't.
What do you mean? He's everyone's favorite fighter, bro.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on with everybody picking Jotko all of a sudden, but he's boring as shit. His fight against Eric Enders, I'm sorry. All he did was press against the cage, and he didn't throw a single damn punch. Okay,
Yeah.
so again, you're gonna go against the cage with GM3, and you're gonna try to go for a double leg. You're gonna give your neck to GM3. Give me
He's probably not
GM3.
gonna do that.
Give me
I don't
GM3.
think that.
Give me GM3. I don't want to hear it. This is not negotiable. I like this spot for GM3. Jotko is not good, at least in my book. Again, I could be wrong. This is not a chalk play for me, but I think GM3 is a good pick. He's very hesitant with his hands. I don't see anything else that he can do here. So yeah, what do you got here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning more Meerschaert too. I do like GM3 just because I really don't like Jocko's game that much. The only thing I would say is that when it comes to Jotko, it's hard to have an impressive win against a guy like him because he fights the path to least resistance. He is very boring of a fighter, but he does have a good fight IQ, which is the reason why he's so boring. Because, listen, when you're fighting, if you know you're going to do something that's going to get you knocked out, you shouldn't do it. But then there's guys who will still do it because they're hard-headed, they're reckless, they don't care. Jotko, he's not going to do those things. He's going to be on his P's and Q's. He's going to try to win this fight as boring as he possibly can. But the one thing why I lean towards GM3 is because the dude is super aggressive. He's not going to fight that kind of fight. He's going to get the fight where he wants to. And even if that takes him losing, he's okay with that because he wants to go home knowing he fought his fight at the end of the day. So, I mean, of course you would favor GM3 because, listen, in my opinion, he's better everywhere. Way better on the ground. That's for damn sure. And on the feet, I mean, Jocko's okay, but he's really not that special. And not for nothing, people underestimate GM3 striking. He was really cracking Maradov.
Sleeping.
He was cracking Maradov. Like, he could have knocked him out. Forget the sub. He was close to putting him out. He only subbed him because he kept cracking him, and Maradov wasn't he wasn't like
And
wasn't able to get that
Mardov cracked GM3 and he went to the
yeah.
ground. Stupid.
Yeah, no, in the beginning, but then GM3 started taking over the fight as the
Yeah.
fight was progressing because Muradov he emptied his gas tank
Yeah.
trying to get GM3 out of there, and that cost him in that fight. And yeah,
By the
GM3
way,
is
that
just
reminds me, I'm gonna unfollow Moradov, man. Forget this guy. I have him on Instagram. This guy is always posting
yeah.
bullshit. I'm gonna unfollow him right now. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, but yeah, I mean, GM3 is a dog. The dude's gonna fight for your money. You know that. Like, you know what you're gonna get from him. And I love that in a fighter. How can you not? I mean, especially when you're putting your hard-earned money on the guy, you know. So I do love all those things. I'm not gonna sit here and say throw everything you got on Meerschaert. He's a lock. He's gonna win this fight 100%. But in my eyes, I do think he will win this fight. Jotko is not the easiest guy to finish, though, and that's what kind of scares me off a little bit because he is hard to finish. And he is going to fight a smarter game plan. He's not going to be reckless like other guys would be, like Muradov was in that fight, or other guys might have been. So GM3 might not have as much of an opportunity as usual. But with a guy like GM3, he's going to try to find any way to get that neck, to get that sub, to get whatever he can get. And I'm confident in that. I'm not super confident, like I said. It's a good play. Just take it as a single, man. Take it as a single. You're getting plus money. Throw whatever you feel comfortable throwing on him. For me, if I'm going to bet on it, I'll probably throw 100, 200 on Meerschaert money line.
And
Or
sub.
I'll probably just throw that money on him by finish.
$50
But
submission. What's the line
yeah,
right now? Let me see. Oh, it's not out yet. It's too early.
yeah, probably not. But
Yeah.
I would probably lean more towards money line just in case because
The
of the
man
fact
has
that
26. What's the percentage of this? 26 out of 34. 26 divided by 34.
Yeah, but
76% chance of hitting the sub, guys. I'm
I
putting
mean,
the
you
sub.
can't
I don't
look at
care.
you can't look at it like that because
You're right. You're right.
you gotta understand one thing too. A lot of his subs could have been knockouts. A lot of
you're
his
right.
subs were
You're right.
him bashing the dude, and then the dude fell to the floor, and then he hops on the back or hops on the neck or whatever and gets that sub. So like, there's a underlying.
I'm still putting half a unit on a sub, and you're not gonna talk me out of it.
No, you should. But the way I look at it, I don't like I'll never throw money on a sub prop. If I'm already leaning that way, I'm gonna do round 1, round 2, round 3 instead.
Oh, I
because I'm
understand.
gonna get a way better number. And even if let's say instead of you throwing, let's say you want to throw 100 on his sub prop, right? Just as an example, and his sub prop, just as an example, let's say was plus 600, right? Instead, you could get round 1 for probably like plus 1,200, round 2 for probably like plus 2,000, and round 3 for probably like plus 3,000, 4,000. So now you could literally, instead of taking 100, throwing it on plus 600, and you win $600. If you split that up and throw $33 round 1, $33 round 2, $33 round 3, you're gonna end up winning more money than that 600.
Yeah, you're right.
Even minusing the 2 losses of the 2 rounds that he didn't get it done in. Let's say he gets it done in round 2. You minus the 33 and 33. That's minus 66 off your profit. You're still going to make more than that 600 most likely. So that's how me personally, I like to play it when I'm leaning that way. So that's how I would do it. But yeah, like I said, I'll probably lean a little more to the money line just to be safe because Jotko is tough to finish.
You're right. Good point. No, absolutely. Yeah, Jotko, like I said, boring fighter because he's a technical fighter. He doesn't want to lose. And you know what? Nothing against it. I actually respect fighters who are smart. So, but again, my stock on Jotko is very low. I don't know why there's so much love. I was watching some people's comments, so much love on Jotko, not me. So I guess for me, that's it. Anything else you want to add, or can we move on?
No, that's it. Listen, just don't get too heavily invested in Meerschaert.
No, absolutely. Don't get excited from what we said and throw like
everything
units. Yeah. No. All right.
Don't post it.
Already. We got Darren Elkins taking on Tristan Connelly. We have Darren the Damage Elkins. Boy, does he take some damage. Coming off a loss recently, he got knocked out by Cop Swanson. 37 years old, 11 months, so he's just 1 month away from being 38 here. He fights at this is a featherweight, so 145. He's 5'10", 71 reach for him. Tristan Connelly, The Bone Dog, another Canadian here on the card, 36 years of age, 5'10", 68 a reach. So a little bit of an advantage in the reach department for Darren Elkins. And if you don't mind, do you want to start the dance?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this one I'm gonna probably stay away from. Just because I don't really trust either guy. I mean, Elkins, the damage, he took a lot of damage in his career. The nickname definitely fits. He's the type of fighter where he's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to keep coming in. He's going to wait for you to get tired, and then he's going to take over the fight and either get you out of there or maybe win a squeaky decision. So that's how he likes to fight, which isn't always the best style because a lot of the times, like his last fight, Cub Swanson just put him out and he was out. He couldn't take it. And that was a bad look for me. That was a red flag because usually Elkins is the type of guy where he could take some lickings, he could take some damage and keep coming, keep coming. But it kind of looked like he gave up in that fight to me. It's funny because that fight we were in Jersey that time. We were in FanDuel actually with a couple of your friends, remember?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that, and I didn't like what I saw from Elkins. He just looked like he
Who was
quit
I
that
backing
fight.
in that fight?
Say it again?
Who was I backing in that fight? Or I had no action?
I don't know. I don't think you had action, but one of your friends was on Swanson.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't like what I saw. It looked like he just gave up. He could, like, I was it. No, it wasn't. It was to the face. But yeah, I just didn't like what I saw. He's getting older and older. Listen, he's game. He's been in the UFC a long time. But then on the other hand, like Connelly, I don't really know what to expect from him either because he didn't really look too good his last fight either. And it's like too many red flags for me in this fight. Like, just not something I want to get involved in. I just can't be too comfortable either way. If I had to pick a side, I'll lean a little bit towards the Connelly side just because he's the fresher fighter, the younger fighter. But it's not really a heavy lean. It's just if I had to pick something, I would lean Connelly. But yeah, like I said, I would stay away from this fight. I would just watch it. It probably will be somewhat entertaining, but yeah, that's what I got.
100%. I'm gonna go with you. Dog or pass situation. Leaning
Oh, he's the dog right now?
Tristan Connelly.
Oh, he's the dog? I thought he was
Yeah.
the favorite.
No,
Wow.
he's a dog,
he's
actually.
the dog, then
That's what
maybe
I'm
sprinkle
saying.
something
So
on him, yeah.
leaning on the dog here because he got this sneaky thing going. I know he hasn't been as active. If you look over here, his fight he had a fluky fight 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember, against Michel Pereira, believe it or not. And Michel
Yeah, he
Pereira,
actually looked okay in
yeah,
that
he
fight.
was putting it on. I mean, putting it on Tristan Connelly. Monkey flips, back flips, this flips, off the cage, blah, 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 high knee, Superman punches. And you know what? Michel Pereira he gassed himself out. Remember, like I usually say, the only man that can really beat Michel Pereira is Michel Pereira. So he beat himself in that fight. He was in full dominant control, but he gassed out. And in the second fight, you know what Tristan Connelly did? He took his ass down and he started controlling here. The only thing here is in this fight, what's his name? Darren Elkins. He's no slouch in the ground department. He recently absolutely mauled the living crap out of Derek Minner, and I did not see that happening. Yeah. He completely dominated the ground. I mean, usually it's Derek Minner who does the dominating on the ground. He violated Derek Minner. He completely scrambled everything. He stuffed takedowns. He got his own takedowns, and then he ground and pounded him. So am I going to take away the damage in this fight? Hell no. You'd be stupid to do that. The damage is the damage for a reason. And I put the picture on you guys where he's all bloody. He will be leaking. I mean, just raindrops. And he's still going to be fighting, which is mad respect. But again, I don't know how much damage he's really taking. No pun intended. Yeah, slight lean on Tristan Connelly, but I would not be surprised if the damage goes out there and does the damage on Tristan Connelly. So, dog or pass, no real like pick here, and I'm just gonna probably sit back and enjoy watching the damage. This is my sit back and really enjoy. This is what coming off a GM3, and if I win GM3, bro, that's my bathroom break. That's my get some more drinks break. This is just me relax break, just enjoy break.
Take
That's
a
it.
deep breath break.
Exactly. That we got GM3. Absolutely. Really love it. So that's pretty much where I stand. I have nothing else to add here, my brother.
Yep, we can move on for
Alrighty,
sure.
let's go. Alrighty, next fight. We have Jared Gordon taking on Grant Dawson. This is a lightweight bout at 155. Jared Gordon is coming off 3 Ws, so good look on him. He's 18-4, 33 years of age, 5'9", 68 inches of reach. He's taking out Grant Dawson, KGD, from Lee Summit, Missouri. And that's important why I said that. He's 28 years old. He's 5'10", so slightly bigger, with a 4-inch significant advantage of 72. Now, I'm not going to waste your time. I got Grant Dawson as a high pick here. Why? Couple of things. One, he's younger. I always favor the younger guy, no matter what. I have to give the favor unless I see a better value in the older fighter. You know what I'm saying? So definitely like Grant Dawson. He has more of a sponge capability. What does that mean? That means he can learn a lot more at this point. Whereas Jared Gordon is pretty much tapped out. He as drenched as you can be with knowledge. How much more can you improve at 34? If you haven't learned everything you can by the time you're 34, 33, 34, what are you really going to learn? You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
only other exception is Glover Teixeira, because that man defies everything. He just keeps getting better. How? I don't know. The man found like a fountain of youth or something. Back to Grant Dawson though. He's Lee Summit, Missouri. So you know it's that Glory MMA,
Actually,
James
hold on.
Krause. Oh,
He left Glory MMA. He's at American Top Team now.
as of when?
As of this is his first fight camp at American Top Team. Yeah, he
Really?
left. He moved to Florida. I seen on his Instagram. Yeah, he was like it was like 2 months ago or something, and he was like he put up a post like thanking Krause and saying like I love you guys, like I appreciate everything you did for me and this, that, and third.
But the foundation is there.
I
So
needed a
Krause is not
fresh
in his
start.
corner?
No, American
Oh,
Top Team.
that changes everything. This is the vital information, my brother. You just downgraded the pick from a high pick to good pick. You
Yeah,
just single-handedly.
American Top Team's good gym though.
I know, but when you switch daddies like that, it can kind of mess you up. When you go from system A to system B,
It
unless
could go either way. It
right,
could
like
either go bad or really good.
right, when you saw Kamaru Usman go from Florida to Colorado, it elevated his game. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when you go from Colorado to Florida, you start taking L's and L's and
It
L's.
depends on the fighter. It depends on the gym. It depends on the circumstance. But yeah,
American
no, I
Top Team
see
is
what you're
good. Who,
saying.
who's out there? Who's out there? If you don't mind me asking, like who?
American Top
Yeah,
Team?
who are
No,
the
they got
top
a lot
dogs?
more guys. They got a
Yeah.
lot more talented guys than Krause because Krause doesn't have any high level guys.
Okay.
American Top Team has champions. American Top Team has a lot of UFC
Okay.
fighters,
Okay.
top level, high ranked. So I think it is a good move for him because he's going to have a diversity of different guys
Right.
to train with, different guys who are good in different areas. Because, like with Krause, like, yeah,
So he
they're
left
all
on a good
good,
note,
but
right?
they're
He
not.
left. It's not like he was
No, on a
disagreeing.
good note.
So
Yeah,
he
on a
went
good
to
note. 'Cause
elevate his game. So okay, fine.
him
So
and his girlfriend. His girlfriend is also a fighter. She was on like some show, regional show. They both trained under Krause, and now
okay.
they both moved to Florida and are both in American Top
All
Team.
right, so perfect. So let's go back. So then I'm still gonna stay with my pick because like I said, I like Grant Dawson. He has more to give here. So I'm gonna go with Grant Dawson here. He's 17-1 record. I love it. He's coming off a draw against what's his name, Ricky
Ricky Glenn.
Glenn. Was it really a draw? I don't know. I
No,
rewatched
it was a draw.
it was a draw. Okay, so it was a draw. So in any case, still going with Grant Dawson. But I'm so torn here. Why? Because my boy Jared Gordon is from Queens, man. And we're from New York. We're from Brooklyn. It's like, damn, I want my heart. Honestly, my heart is with Jared Gordon. But my money is with Grant Dawson. so
No, for sure.
but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm definitely gonna back Grant Dawson. I have him as a high pick. Am I gonna really smash that minus 140? Not necessarily. I will put him in a parlay, but I will also be hedging this one just because you never know. Jerry Gordon is a dog. He
If you
trains
hedge
so.
it though, you should hedge by decision because Jared Gordon's not putting
Yeah,
anyone out.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. I love that. In any case, I just like the plus money on Jared Gordon to hedge. So if any case, I'll be hedging myself out with Jared Gordon, and I suggest anybody to do so too. Grant Dawson is good, but now that he kind of moved camps, I'd like to see the product. And I think this is a good showcase for him to actually show the improvement, right? So that it
Yeah,
actually gives him an incentive. So again, so I'm still gonna keep him as a high pick here. I love Grant Dawson. I liked everything I seen. He will fight till the very end. His fight against Santos, the man was losing up until the last second of the fight, where he literally hammer fists and Donkey Kong's Santos until the oblivion. So again, red flag the fact that he was being dominated so much by Santos, who's like what, almost 40 at this point. Um, again, still young. He's still learning. I'd like to see him now more because, especially with the cam change. But yeah, pick is Grant Dawson, but my heart is with Jared Gordon. So I'm definitely hedging, my brother. What do you got?
I mean, I'm gonna probably stay away. If I had to pick, I'd pick the Dawson side as well. I just really didn't like what I saw in that third round against Ricky Glenn. That's why I told you, yeah, it was a draw because Dawson definitely won those first two rounds, but Glenn strictly just straight dominated him in that third round. That was definitely a 10-8 round. He almost got him out of there. Dawson just had nothing left in that third round. His gas tank completely died out. He was done, so he wasn't even remotely fighting back like he usually does. He wasn't trying to improve positions. He wasn't trying to get back up on his feet. He wasn't doing any of that. And that was a big red flag to me. And that's why I'm going to stay away. But he should definitely win this fight. Listen, Jared Gordon is one of those meat and potato fighters, like I said earlier. He's not good at anything, really, that great at anything, but he's okay at everything. You know what I mean? Like, he has really no power on the feet. He doesn't really have hands at all, honestly. Like, that's probably the worst part of his game. What he's really good at is just making a fight boring and ugly and just like wet blanketing you basically, like just like like kind of like Jotko, but in his own way. Jotko's more of a stand-up guy. With Jared Gordon, he's more of I'm gonna take you down, hold you down, and that's how I'm gonna win the fight, by decision and just being a wet blanket. So like, you know what I mean, like, yeah, it's not really much to like here. Like I said, I think Dawson will win this fight. He should win this fight. I think Dawson has a lot more potential. Like you said, too, he just needs to improve that gas tank. That gas tank's a big issue for him. It's his biggest issue he has. If he can improve that, if he could work on his cardio, if his cardio could become really good, then the ceiling gets a lot higher for a guy like him. And then we could possibly be talking, possibly top 15, top 20 type of guy in the UFC in his division. But he has to improve that cardio first. And until he does, I'm not going to invest in a guy like him. So that's
All
what I
right,
got.
all right. Yep, that pretty much same thing for me. Let's move on. All right, next up we have Andrei the Touchy Fili taking on Joanderson Brito here. Fili is 21-8. He's a moderate favorite here. Last time I checked, like my
Moderate, super
yeah,
favorite. He's like minus
moderate minus
300.
minus two minus 260. Last time I checked, he's
That's
30.
not moderate. Moderate's like minus
Moderate,
150.
man. Once you go over 300, I'll say you're heavy. So far, still, I'm gonna say moderately high,
Say a nice, nicely sized favorite.
nicely sized favorite. I like that. He's 31 years of age, so you definitely know he's not a kid anymore. He's 5'11", 74. Reach versus Joanderson Brito. He's 12-3 fighter from Brazil, 27 years old. So the youth is a little bit on his side. He's a little bit undersized here. He's 5'8", 72 reach. If you don't mind me, I'll just quickly tell you my thing. Yeah, I'm really high pick parlay piece, Andrei Fili. Am I gonna lay the chalk on him? No. I think at this point he's been there with a lot of different guys. I'm talking about Max Holloway's, Kelvin Caters. So he's been there. It's like a repeated pattern at this point. His his experience on loan is just completely triumphs Joanderson Brito. Joanderson Brito is coming off a loss here. He lost in his debut against Bill Algeo, who's not that good himself. You know what I'm saying? What is that really telling me? It's telling me that Touchy Fili is going to touch him up. He has fast hands. questionable fight IQ at times. You know what I'm saying? My biggest fear is that Joanderson Brito is not gonna want to stand and bang and will take a Fili down. That's probably his biggest kryptonite in this fight. But if Fili can stuff one or two takedowns and basically make Joanderson Brito give up on that plan, and just piece him up, keep the range, he uses physicality, he should win this fight completely. But again, it's the ground game. I'm a little bit concerned here with Brito because of Desperado right now. Him having 2 L's back to back is not going to be a good look. He might even get cut here because
No,
he's a contender series guy, right?
yeah, but not after two
Yeah,
fights.
well, you never know. Well, I mean, the contract doesn't give it
Yeah.
does give him 3 fights, but you're right. But it's not gonna look good on him. It's not gonna look good. He definitely needs this fight here. But Andre Fili is a tall task, like I said. Been there, done that, fought the who's who and the whatnot. Coming off, he's off a win, right? Oh no, off a
No, it's
draw.
no
No,
contest.
no, yeah, I poked to Daniel Pineda. Before that, he fought Bryce Mitchell. This is, you know what? This is Bryce Mitchell's channel here. This is Thug Nasty fans over here, at least me. So no, I'm not taking that away from him. Mitchell just beat Barbosa for crying out loud. So not a bad loss. Again, Fili only losing to the top of the top, and Brito is not top of the top. So this is Brito's fight to win. High pick slash
You mean
parlay.
Feely's fight.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm talking too fast. This is Andre Fili's fight to win and lose at the same time because he needs this win, in my opinion. So let's go. Let's do a little bit touchy feely on here, and I'm gonna parlay him most likely. Most likely, I haven't done it yet, but most likely parlaying him. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I love Feely. Big parlay piece for me this week. I just don't see any way Brito wins this fight. You were saying how his one way would maybe be the takedowns. No, I don't even see that because let's talk about it. He fought Bryce Mitchell, right? Bryce Mitchell was not having an easy time to keep Feely down. Even if he took him down, Feely was getting right back up, right back up, right back up. His get-up game is very good. Like you said, he's fought the upper echelon, the who's who of this division, some of the GOATs, some of the best that have been around. He's had a crazy level of competition throughout his UFC time. He's been in the UFC for a
Fought
while now. Like,
everybody. Max
yeah, he fought a
Holloway,
lot of
Yair
killers. A lot.
Rodriguez, Kelvin Cater. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody and their mother in the
yeah.
featherweight.
He's fought like almost everyone in the top five, pretty much.
Yeah,
Other than the champ Volkan. Yeah,
yeah.
but no, I love Feely. Listen, at the price tag, of course, you don't want to really play it straight because again, it is MMA. Anything could happen. Brito does have some power in his hands. He does have some good haymakers, stuff like that. And if he does get you on the ground, he has some good ground and pound, some good submissions. But yeah, I don't see that happening. I see Feely controlling this fight, win this fight. And even though his last fight was a technically a no contest, he was smoking Daniel Pineda in that fight. He was easily on his way to win that fight. And unfortunately, that whole eye poke happened, and they had to call the fight off because he couldn't continue. But yeah, that was an unfortunate break for Fili. But he was really looking good in that fight. I liked what I saw. I saw like leaps and bounds from previous fights. Like he was actually still improving, even though he's been in the UFC for so long. But like you said, he's 31. He's still in that prime age, and that's what I like. I like to see that. I know what I'm gonna get from him. The dude is really good. He doesn't get as much credit as I think he deserves. For someone who came into the UFC at such a young age, who's been able to have such a long run in the UFC, that's impressive, man.
Yeah.
Especially fighting the guys he's fought. It's not easy to come back from certain losses, but he's come back. He's improved. He's looked better, and I think he's gonna win this fight in impressive fashion. Most likely by decision, though. He's not really. He could finish you, but he's not like the biggest finisher. And Brito is type durable. I could say that from what I've seen. So yeah, I love Andre Fili. Let's touch and feel all this money this
Yeah,
week
let's
because that's
do
what
it.
I'm planning on doing. And I think he's one of the best parlay pieces of the card this
Yep.
week for sure.
Yep. And I believe he has a win against Charles Jourdain, so that kind of aged very well.
Yeah, like a couple years ago, I
Yeah,
believe.
so that aged very well. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's touch him up and let's touch the money this weekend. I'm
for
going for
sure.
5 racks. I'm not even playing games.
Mm.
And then I'm gonna repeat that at May 7th. Just
Yes,
letting you
sir.
know. Anyway, let's go to our next fight. All right, guys. This is the co-main event where we did it. We're almost there, guys. We have Jake, the prototype Collier, taking on Andrei Arlovsky, the Pitbull. We have Jake Collier, 33 years old, 6'3", 78.5 reach. He's taking on a 43-year-old, 43 years young veteran, 6'3", 77 reach. So what do you want me to say? Arlovsky, been there, done that. Debuted 1999. Do you remember what it was like in 1999? Because
I was 8 years old.
dude, I remember 1999. Actually, it was the turn of millennia. I was so excited. I was
I
like,
didn't even know what UFC or
dude,
Mixed
I had no
Martial
idea
Arts
what
was.
I just knew Saturdays was lit because I was watching cartoons.
Yeah,
So
word.
yeah, I mean, this is just gives me goosebumps to think that this man has been there for a minute. He has a record of 33 and 20. So obviously he's took some losses along the way, considerable losses. This is what, 53. So this is his 54th fight here. He has a young guy, Jake Collier, who used to be a middleweight, if I'm not mistaken, and then basically said, "Yeah, I don't like to run. Let me just chill." And he's been moving up in weight, light, heavyweight, and then finally a heavyweight. Believe it or not, at middleweight, he actually was in really good shape. He looked
He
really
was
fast.
at first,
Yeah, he
yeah.
looked really fast, and he has some promise, believe it or not. But ever since he went to the middleweight, what was his first fight? Tom Aspinall, I believe, was his first.
No, not at middleweight though.
I'm sorry,
Aspinall's a
heavyweight, heavyweight. His first fight was Tom Aspinall. Bro, you already know this is also Tom Aspinall's channel. We're on that train right now. He got KO. That was the first
That's my
time.
biggest moneymaker.
That was my
Aspinall
biggest
Patty.
call. I said Tom Aspinall's gonna knock him out. I had the knockout. I believe the knockout was like plus 210, which was a gift from the gods from the MMA gods at that point. I remember slamming it really hard. Never got that ever again. But anyway, he got knocked out. He got a W against Gene Vellante. It's Gene Vellante, who's no longer in the UFC,
In the back kick.
who got finished by, what's his name, the Huggy
Chris
Bear.
Barnett.
Yeah, Chris Barnett. Anyway, and then he suffered a split loss against Carlos Felipe. Sketchy fight over there, and then he just bounced back with a win against Chase Sherman. Chase Sherman. As much as like my mind is telling me take Jake for some reason because he's younger, he should be able to. My mind is really telling me Jake. It's really my heart is telling me Arlovsky. In the beginning, my first video that was out, I said Arlovsky is a good pick, and I'm gonna stand with that. I'm still standing with my words here. Arlovsky is a
If
good
you're
pick.
gonna take Arlovsky, there's no point of taking a money line. The dude is
Decision
only
machine.
gonna win a decision.
So again, decision machine. But Arlovsky is a good pick. Why? The man is fighting Tanner Boser. And if you tell me that Jake is better than Tanner Boser, I'm going to say in what world? In what world is he better than you? But hold on, let me finish.
Doesn't always work like
I
that.
know it
though.
doesn't always work like that. And I understand MMA math has a little asterisk next to it. But if you're telling me that this guy in the last 5 is 4-1, 4-1, and he's 43 goddamn years. He's taking out. He beat Tanner Boser. He got knocked out by Tom Aspinall. We've already established who Tom Aspinall is. He bounced back against Chase Sherman. We already know the deal on Chase Sherman. He beat Carlos Felipe, the same Carlos Felipe who beat Jake Collier. He beat Jared Vandera, who's a can. I understand, but still. It looks like Arlovsky really found his sweet spot here. And when he's fighting these cans and up-and-coming UFC, like bottom tiers, heavyweights, he's outschooling them. Obviously, when he's fighting killers, he's getting starched. But ask yourself, I mean, I really asked myself, does Jake Collier have the knockout potential? It's MMA. It's a fight, maybe.
His hands are quick for that division.
But no, he's definitely quick. And you know what? There's one thing that's scaring me, and the same thing that happened with Romanov. Jake looked really damn good at the scale last time. Like my
he looked
man,
good in the fight too. He was ready.
he put it on him. So I'm like, so again, I think I think the good pick is Andrei Arlovsky, but Jake is live. So I have upgraded Jake to a hedge bet. I didn't even want to do it, but I gotta do it. Tell me I'm thinking straight, or am I talking out of my ass?
No, I mean, like I see that. I'm not gonna touch this fight because, like, I still like Jake did look really good his last fight, but I still can't trust him yet. I need to see it a little bit more, and then I could hop on board. And on the other end, I'm just not gonna put my money on a 43-year-old, even though he's been looking good. Yeah, it's against guys that are not in the UFC anymore, or guys that shouldn't be in the UFC. Um, like I said, yeah, Arlovsky's getting these setup matches, which he deserves because listen, he's been in the UFC forever. Like the guy has been put out by the most savage killers there is in the division. Like he deserves a few layups now at the end of his
Definitely
career.
has
And
been put
that's what
out
it's
by the
been.
savages.
Yeah, that's what it's been. He's been getting layups, and I think this fight isn't as easy of a layup as the other
This is
ones
a
have
this is
been.
a this is a heavily guarded layup. Okay, this is
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's more of a 3-point shot. He's gonna have to
ooh,
really
okay.
put some work in.
With some defense or open shot. I think with
Yeah,
some
no,
defense.
Collier looked good, man. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna take anything away. He looked really good. Listen, Sherman's like you said, he got cut. He's not the best. Okay, that's fine. But the way he put him out so quick, that's what you want to see when you're fighting a guy that is not the caliber of yours. That shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be fighting because he doesn't
yeah.
deserve to be there. That's what you want to see. You want to see the guy put him away quick and make it like as
Submitted
easy as
him.
he did.
Hmm.
Yeah, and to submit him too, no one expected that. I'm sure
No,
that prop was
no.
like plus 5,000 or something. But yeah, like that was crazy.
So
But
take a little sprinkle on Jay Collier by sub this time.
I don't know if he's gonna do it again. But yeah, why not? But yeah, I wouldn't touch this fight.
Yeah,
It's more of a just watch, get ready for the main event type
I
of
think
feel.
so.
But
I
yeah,
think so. Not a lot of action.
if you're gonna, well, I'll leave it at this. If you're gonna play Orlovsky, play him by decision. Don't play him straight. There's no point of doing that. Orlovsky is not winning by knockout. He's not winning by sub. If he does, I am I'm like 100% confident that if Orlovsky wins, he will not win by finish. And if he does, this is how confident I am. If for whatever reason Orlovsky wins by finish, I will come on next week. You name it. What do you want me to do? Anything, I'll do it.
Do a
Because that's
shoey.
how sure I am. That's how sure I am that Orlovsky will not win by
Do a
finish.
shoey. We'll do our
All
first
right.
shoey on the show.
I was ready to say I'll shave my head or get a tattoo. That's how sure I am. But all right, we'll do the shoey. If Orlovsky wins by finish, I'll do my first ever shoey because I'm not a
Bet.
believer in the shoeys. Remember, I don't believe in drinking from a shoe. But if it happens, I will do my first ever one.
I bet. You guys heard
Yeah.
it here. Our first shoey on the show.
If it happens, which I
If
highly doubt.
Arlovsky get a finish, that means sub or
KO, either
knockout.
one.
A
Either
finish.
one.
All right, bet. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say in this fight. Let's go to the main event, and boys, we did it. I know it's been a long show, but we kind of did a good show here. So let's go. All right. This is the main event of the evening. We did it. Congratulations to everybody who stuck it out. But without further ado, we have a pretty good, solid veteran, Rob Font, taking on this up and coming, who's also been in the UFC for a minute, by the way, Marlon Chito Vera. Rob Font is coming in here off a loss to the OG Jose Aldo. When was this fight? This was about 4 months ago. So,
December.
yeah, in December, it was a really hard fought. It was a war. It was a banger. He's 34 years old. He's 5'8", 71.5 reach. This is a bantamweight fight, so it's 135. Chito Vera coming here with 20-7 record. He's coming off 2 wins back-to-back, unanimous against Davy Grant, and a brutal knee to the face KO to
Kicks in the
Frankie
face.
Edgar.
Kick.
Huh?
It was
Did
a
it?
kick. It was like a kick.
Oh, was it a kick?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
you're
kick.
right. It wasn't straight. It was a front straight kick straight to the dome of Frankie Edgar, and he puts him out. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, 29-year-old, 5'8", so same height with a 70.5, so negligible 1-inch reach advantage for Rob Font. Everything else is identical here. And please, Stacks, start us off here.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're a big Rob Font fan. You were on him against Aldo, but you shouldn't be doing that about that because Aldo
Yo,
abused him,
first of all, why
like I
was I
told you he
picking
was.
Font against Aldo? What
I
was
don't
wrong with
know.
me? Anyway, go ahead.
I have no idea. I told you. I said, don't do it to yourself. I said, Font is not going to beat Aldo. He is not going to beat Aldo, and Aldo put it on him. And the craziest thing is, I never seen
Can I
some.
say something? Can I say
Yeah,
something? It was a war though. He beat Aldo. Like I'm not beat. He didn't win, but he
no,
beat him up. He had his eyes
not
shot.
really. I
Dude,
mean, yeah, he caught it in
come
the beginning.
on. Come
Font
on.
was winning the beginning of the fight.
Aldo's face was in a fight after this.
No,
Okay?
yeah, no, you. He caught
Aldo
him with
had
like
no
a
scratches after Cheeto. But anyway,
he.
let you finish. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
Yeah, he caught him with a nice shot, and he like swelled up. Yeah, no, and then Aldo was just controlling him the last few rounds, repeatedly taking him down, holding him, taking him down, holding him, taking him down. But yeah, I mean, listen, Rob Font, he's good. I like him. He's all right, but I just don't think he's as good as everyone makes him out to be. I love his hands. He has very great, crisp boxing. That's the best part to his game. His boxing is no joke. He throws some crazy combinations. If you ain't ready for that, he's gonna put you out. But like Chito Vera's a dog, man. That dude is a savage. I love the way he fights. This is his first 5 round fight. I definitely think that favors him heavily because he's the type of fighter. He starts the fight off very slow, works into his groove, gets his groove going, gets to read his opponent, gets to, set up traps, set up different things. He's one of those guys. So he's not the fastest starter, but this being a 5 round fight, that definitely I think benefits him because as the fight is progressing on, it's gonna be going more and more into his favor and less into Font's favor. And as an example, you see Rob Font against Aldo. Font was looking really good in that first, second round. He was, like you said, he was putting it on Aldo. He was cracking him, piecing him up, swelled up his eye, all that. But as the fight progressed, his gas tank was going less and less and less. And Aldo was able to do things Aldo doesn't even really do. When does Aldo take people down? When does Aldo hold people down? That's not something Jose Aldo is known to ever do. Jose Aldo is known to be a stand-up striker and piece you up on the feet. So if Jose Aldo is able to take you down and control you like that for a few rounds straight, that's a bad look, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And Chito Vera is way more credentialed on the ground than Jose Aldo, in my opinion. Way more dangerous of a submission game. And honestly, I think he cracks with way more power. I'm not saying he's a better striker than Aldo, but he has more power than him, in my opinion. And yeah, I just think this is a good fight for him. Listen, he's on the come up. A lot of people were sleeping on Marlon Vera, but he's finally up there. Like he's top what? Like he's 7 in the division now, like top 7 now. And if he wins this fight, he's gonna crack into the top 5 and arguably be looking for a title eliminator his next fight out. So like the dude is finally getting up there. He's been in the UFC for a while, like you said. And honestly, he caught a tough break because when he first came into UFC, he even said it himself. He was doing like an interview and he's like, honestly, I wasn't ready to be in the UFC yet. I was so young and like I was so new to the game. I was still not there mentally. I didn't know all the things I know now. And like I was like rushed into it, basically, is what he was saying. And his results were mixed in the beginning of his UFC career, but that is a result of him being rushed into the UFC, him not being ready to be at that stage. But he still had a good showing in a lot of those fights for a guy in that position who really isn't ready to be at that stage. So now he's like, I'm at a stage where I'm like super sharp. Like I developed all my tools. Mentally, I'm there. Physically, I'm there. I feel like myself. I feel like I could beat anybody. And that's what I always love to hear from a fighter. You always want that confidence to be high. You always want his mentality to be right. That's so important coming into a fight. It's one of the biggest factors in my opinion. But yeah, I love Chito Vera. I'm gonna be heavy on him. I can't believe he's an underdog. I definitely don't think he should be the underdog in this fight. As I told you before, like the one thing Font struggles with is fighters who are super, super aggressive and super, super like get in his face. And that's exactly what Chito Vera is. That's exactly what he's gonna do. And the last thing I'm gonna say is, even if Font wins that first round, wins that second round, it's not like that's gonna deter Cheeto's confidence because he's used to being in fights like that. If you look at his last fight when he knocked out Frankie Edgar, he lost those first 2 rounds. He was losing that fight. If that fight would have went a few extra minutes and went to the judges, he was now gonna win that fight.
Yeah.
But what did he do? He understood that. And he said, no, I got to get this knockout. And he came in that third round, was super hungry, and caught that nice kick to the face, and he got the knockout. So I love to see that in a guy. I love to see that awareness, that fight IQ, that awareness to know, like, yo, I'm down, and if I don't get this knockout, I'm not winning this fight. And then on top of that, to go and have the hunger to do everything you can to get that knockout. Loved it. Love what I saw. It's just a bad stylistic matchup for Rob Font, in my opinion. And yeah, I think Chito Vera all day, playing money line. It's a good line, good number. Hammer it. And yeah, I love him. Love it. Love it. High, super high pick for me this week. Hammer time. Let's go.
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, that's what I got.
I'm gonna be on the other side here just because. Yeah. Anyway, I like Rob Font here. Love Font a lot actually. Here's why. There's a couple things.
But you said that.
I know. There's a couple things. One, after the fight with Jose Aldo had no scratches in his face. So unless you're beating Rob Font, like you're beating him, ripping his body like Jose Aldo did, taking you down like Jose Aldo did, really beating him, putting him on, making him bleed. Give me one fighter that Chito Vera made bleed in the last. Give me one fighter.
Well,
he does
not
not
about blood,
crack.
though.
I understand.
He's the only guy that beats Sugar
crack.
Sean.
I'm really. He has good kicks. I'll give him that. And one thing is what you said. Well, there's a couple things. The first thing is he is definitely a notoriously slow starter. I don't know what it is with him. He does not go off. Maybe it changes in his fight.
Maybe some time to read his opponent.
Maybe it's the main event. Maybe it's the main event, and the fact that it's more than 3 rounds, he's gonna feel a little bit more comfortable. If should it go the distance, can it go the distance? It could, right? It could. Because both guys are very durable. They're very durable. But let me tell you something, man. Rob Font doesn't start slow. When the bell rings, bing, he goes right to the center and he starts throwing combos.
Yeah, but that's
fine. Straight right power. Straight right body rip, body power. Okay. Man, I see him lighting Chito Vera up early. I mean,
that's fine.
Early.
Even if he does that, Chito is so durable. You're not putting him out, first of all.
Okay.
And second of all, he did the same thing to Aldo. Did that work for him? No.
But so Aldo is a different animal, though. You're
not at all. If anything, Aldo is way less durable than Chito Vera. Chito Vera has way more durability than Aldo.
But in any case, I see Rob Font. I see Rob Font KO. I see a...
Hell no. You're crazy. He is not knocking Chito Vera.
Rob Font by a murder charge this Saturday.
You must be hallucinating,
He's gonna murk. He's gonna murk Chito Vera. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. There's something about Chito Vera that rubbed me the wrong way, and I think I'm being biased.
That's the thing, but
I'm being very biased here.
That's fine, but that's not gonna ever win money.
I'm also being very objective here as well. I really do think, stylistically, when it comes to the style, when it comes to power, Rob Font definitely gets a check mark. When it comes to durability, they both get a check mark. When it comes to
I mean, well, sorry to cut you off, but you can't really sit here and say that Rob Font has power because
he does have power.
Okay, so if he has power, then how come when he fought Cody, he couldn't get him out of there? Tell me that then.
Well, you can't win all fights by knockout, right?
Exactly. You're talking about one of the worst chins in MMA history, and he couldn't get Cody out in 5 rounds.
Who was that?
Rob Font, your boy.
Oh, Cody Garbrandt, right? You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I
Um.
know I'm right. That's why I'm mentioning it, because it's like,
Oh.
come on, bro.
Okay.
I don't
Good
know where you're
point.
getting this confidence
Good.
in.
Good point. Yeah. I don't know where I don't know where I'm getting
That's
it,
why I'm
but
saying you can't put your bias into it. This
Boston
is all
strong.
bias.
Boston strong for me. The half of the cartel. Give me Rob Font. You know he's training with Calvin Cater in here. You know Calvin Cater is giving him the business. Um, so I'm gonna go with
Calvin
Rob
Cater
Font.
can't get in the cage for him and fight
You
for him. So
absolutely right. You absolutely right. But hey, Calvin Cater is definitely giving him the business there. He's definitely sparring with him. So I'll tell you that much. In any
yeah, but that
case,
doesn't always mean anything,
in any case, I'm gonna go Rob Font, man. I really think this is a good bounce back win. There's a lot of love, like everybody loves Chito Vera here. There's so much love
No,
here.
not everyone.
But
I've seen
guess
people on
what?
the
Guess
side.
what? Even as we speak, you know what the public is saying right now, collectively? 56% is still favoring Rob Font. So
That's fine.
I understand. I understand. Like I said, from the capper's perspective, a lot of hearts, a lot of likes for Vera. And you know what? Absolutely, 100%. And everything you said, I'm not gonna what is it called? I'm not gonna debate, and I'm not gonna say it's wrong. Everything about Chito Vera you said is right. He's definitely when it comes to like technicality, I think he might even be a more technical fighter. The fact
He's
that
very smart.
right,
He's very smart.
he's definitely intelligent, and the fact that it is a 5-round fight, it's 100% favoring Chito Vera, because if Font can get him out of there in 3, he's not gonna get him out
So
of there in 4.
he won't, because if you can't get Cody out in 5, you ain't taking Cheetah Bear out. And I could promise my life on that. It's not
Oh,
happening.
deal. It's gonna be an interesting recording next week.
It will. And
It'll-
I promise you, I'll be sitting here next week and I'm going to be saying these exact words. I told
Without
you
being said,
so.
with everything being said, as much as I love Rob Font, I will go on public record and say that I have not picked Rob Font as a high pick. I have not picked Rob Font as a good pick. I actually have him written as a parlay piece. And look, I'm on record here. Let me bring it up. What does it say? Does it say parlay piece? I am picking him, but I'm saying he's a parlay piece, so I would not be heavily invested on Rob Font. If you just as much as high on Vera as you stacks, then by all means press a trigger. He's plus money, so that
Oh,
would
yeah,
be
I already did. And
that
I
would be
keep
definitely
pressing it.
something that you want to slam. I definitely want to say proceed with caution here, because Rob Font is super dangerous, and I have nothing but
No,
respect for him.
don't listen to him. Do not proceed with caution. Proceed however you are going to, because my boy Chito Vera is gonna put it on Rob Font, and I promise you guys that's what's gonna happen. Like I know it's gonna happen. I'm not even like it's not even like a little bit of a question in my head
Right.
at all. Like I'm so sure of it.
What's gonna happen if he gets knocked out? Just a question, just a
No,
question.
I think I could say I could honestly see him winning a decision.
No,
I don't know if he's gonna
I'm
knock
gonna
Font out,
ask
but
you
I
a
know he's
question
gonna
right
win.
now. Right now, what's gonna happen if Font knocks him out?
It's not gonna happen.
I'm saying, what if? What if in the
There is no
metaverse he
what if.
knocks him out? I'm just in any verse you wanted. He knocks him out. What do you say?
That I was wrong, but it won't happen.
Anyway,
It's not gonna happen. I promise you.
I think for the most part we've touched all the aspects of this fight. Font definitely,
Listen, real quick.
yeah.
If a 125-pounder Kai Car France could knock Cody out in 1 round, but you couldn't do it in 5, and you're a 145-pounder,
Bantamweight. No, he's a
or
bantamweight.
I mean 135.
But that's because Cody
No,
cut weight.
no. Don't make excuses. Cody Garbrandt has 5 losses in his career, 4 of them by knockout. The one that he lost by decision was to Rob Font.
Fair enough. But he got
If Kai Kara France can knock you out in 1 round, but Rob Font can't knock you out in 5, and you're talking about how Font has these crazy power and crazy hands. No, he doesn't, because he couldn't even knock Nochin out in 5 rounds. Come on.
All right. All
That's
right.
one of the most susceptible chins in all of MMA history.
You're right.
You
You're right.
know this. His career is basically over because he
But
has
I
no
stand
chin.
strong and I put my feet down and I say, team front, no front. You dig? That's
All right,
it. Team
stick to your
front,
guns. Stick to your guns. That's
team
fine.
front, no
It's
front,
gonna,
no
it's gonna
cap.
be,
Let's go.
it's gonna. You're gonna regret it, and it's gonna bite you in the butt. But listen, it is what it
It
is.
is what it is. Anything else you want to add? This has been one of our longest show to date, but I think it's actually pretty much fun. There are
Yeah,
timestamps in the descriptions, as always, guys. So don't get scared. You can move around, find the spots you like, and watch it, or stick with us for the whole 2 hours and enjoy the show.
great
Anything?
content.
Yeah.
Great content.
Anything you want to add? And before we get out of here, the floor is yours.
Uh, yeah. The only thing that just I want to say is, guys, please support the channel, show some love, smash that like, smash that sub if you're not already subscribed. You know, we're getting some. Our numbers are coming up. We're getting up there. We're gaining traction little by little
Absolutely.
by little. It's
Absolutely.
coming. It's coming. You know, and we always remember where we came from. We never forget, guys. Just please show some love. You know, a lot of people been viewing the
Let them
videos.
know. Let them know if they want to see us live, so they can chat with us. We need 100 subs,
Yeah,
guys.
we're waiting to get
Let
to 100 subscribers. Once we hit 100, we're at 82 now,
Yeah,
which we were just at like 40 like 2 weeks ago. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're growing. It's gonna go out of nowhere, bomb. But you know what I'm saying? Like, please just show some love. You know, we're taking time out of our days to bring you guys the best content we can, give you guys the best picks we can, so you guys could keep cash and keep putting money in your pocket. So please just show some love, smash that like, smash that sub button. Yeah, I mean, it takes 1 second, just boop, and it's done, you know. So please show some love, guys.
absolutely.
Tomorrow, I just want to say we're gonna have the round line rapid fire. We know you guys love it. We know you guys are waiting for that show
Bro,
every
you
week.
hit almost everything on that shit, bro.
Come on, baby, you know how I do. I
you
don't
you
play
slammed every
around,
single. I hit every single unders, bro. Every single
except
unders.
for the Jourdain and the Puelas
Well,
fight. But it's okay. It happens.
I knew I had a different play there. I had a different play.
Yeah, like I said, I'm right 9 out of 10 times. There's going to be those 1 out of 10 times where someone slips on a banana peel or some crazy nonsense
Facts.
happens where we
Facts.
get robbed. But listen, it happens. It's as long as you're consistent and you're making the right picks consistently, you're going to be consistently making money. That's how we feel. That's what we know. Proof is in the pudding. We're only going to keep growing. Let's run it up. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going up. We ain't looking this way. We only looking this way from now on, and that's how it's always going to be. So yeah, let's make this money. Not a lot of great fights, but like 3, 4, 5 fights that we see good spots where we could attack and make some really good money. And yeah, we'll get more into the round props and the round lines tomorrow on round line rapid fire. But yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, perfect. One thing I just want to do, and then we're basically gonna get out of here. I just want to summarize the whole card really, really quick,
Yeah.
like that way, because I know sometimes we talk a lot and people just forget. So they asked me for a recap. So I'm gonna add the time into the timestamp in the description. So really quick here, I'm gonna pull up the card. We'll go really quick. So the first fight we said pass. We both agree on that. The second fight we said pass. We both agree on that. I'm leaning slightly on Gina. I think you were slightly leaning on
Yeah.
Gina. We also said I said Levy. I think you're leaving Levy, but not confident. Fight number 4, Yohan Lainesse. I think we're both on Yohan
Heavy,
Lainesse.
heavy.
Heavy. Alexandr Romanov, definitely. Daniel,
Smash.
right? Daniel De Silva, definitely. We're on the same side.
Love Daniel De Silva. Yeah.
Gerald Meerschaert, we're going that way, but we're not confident with it. So don't quote us anything. But I'm pretty okay with Gerald Meerschaert in that spot. Darren Elkins versus Tristan Connelly. I think we both said dog or pass or even skip. So whatever. Jared Gordon versus Grant Dawson. That's a pretty interesting style matchup here. I think we're both leaning Grant Dawson here. But I feel like Jared is live, and you should definitely consider him and hedge. We both like touch and feeling because we want to touch some racks this Saturday. So let's go touchy Andrei touchy Fili here. In the co-main event, we definitely said that Collier is live. He's the younger fighter, he's the faster fighter, and he looked good in his last outing, even though it was Chase Sherman. But Andrei Arlovski, the everlasting OG of the OGs since 1999, putting in work year in and year out. So good pick, Arlovski. But Jake is absolutely live, so be careful there. And we are both absolutely split. I am Team Font. Stacks is Team
Chito
Vera. Let the best man win this Saturday. Make your money. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Hit the like. Hit the sub. We are out of here.